So how many people, besides Dan, here tonight got an email from me on Sunday, by a show of hands? How many people, by also a show of hands, logged into the website based on the instructions? Pretty good number of you, good. So if those of you that didn't know, our website technology also evolved with our rebranding, and I say our, I mean Toastmasters International. And so we had a website based on Free Toast Host, which is an infrastructure provider that provides websites to Toastmasters clubs free of charge. And they forced an upgrade to Free Toast Host 2.0 with alignment to the Toastmasters branding, which is a good thing, although it didn't feel like it over the last week. So this presentation is about the new website, what it's going to mean to the club, some changes that we'll all personally experience, and also some homework that people will have. So the new website features some of the people in the room here, and just coincidentally, this was the first of 3 styles that you're able to select. It happens to match the burgundy shirt that John had on, and the actual colors of the gray and the blue, Howard's blue shirt. So everything kind of comes together based on that picture.
It does, doesn't it?
And I really like that picture because I think a lot of what Toastmasters is about is culminated in a speech contest. Not that being a Toastmaster equates to competing in speech contests, but competing in a speech contest brings together all of the things that we learn in Toastmasters and sort of amplifies that. And this particular picture was the result, I believe, of an area contest probably about a year ago. I pulled it from the old website. And as I was building the new website over the last week on the 2.0 platform, I was pulling all the historic information off our old website, which had a lot of information, some of it dating back to as long as 2006. So some of the numbers in terms of Toastmaster membership, number of countries, number of clubs, and those kinds of things needed to be updated. Also, in the process of creating the new website, the infrastructure providers did some pretty cool things, and I want to point those out so that you're aware of them, so that everybody in the club, if you didn't know it, is the VP of PR. It so happens that I carry that responsibility and serve the club in that role, but everybody is responsible for bringing guests in and promoting the club and trying to keep our membership at a level that's interesting and fun so that we have engaging meetings. And to do that, there's a number of different assets on this website that come with the infrastructure, one of which is a video actually from Toastmasters International. They put a video on YouTube and it features some pretty famous people. And the message is that Toastmasters develops leaders. And I think that leadership is something that we often forget about in Toastmasters because we think about Toastmasters as getting us comfortable to speak. And that's why we're here at Toastmasters, because we want to become better speakers. But as we all know, for people that have been in Toastmasters for a little while, which I think is everybody in the room, there's also the Competent Leadership Manual, which goes along with that. So the theme of Toastmasters is we develop leaders. The website itself, I think, looks better than the old website. The one criticism that I have, and I was talking with Tricia before the start of the meeting, is that the font is kind of small. So I'm going to try to come up with some ways that we can enhance that. Based on the current infrastructure, there doesn't seem to be any obvious way to do that, but I'll be in contact with support. If nothing else, I will provide instructions for how people can increase the size of the font depending on which browser they're using. So that's what the website entails. Why would we use the website? Well, primarily we use the website to promote the Clifton Park speakers, which we're all part of this family that we come to. We invest not only our money, but more importantly to us, and probably more valuable, our time. And so the website is a tool. I'm a little biased given the business that I'm in. I build websites and promote businesses online. So to me, a website's sort of the center of the universe in terms of promoting. And I will say that most of the guests, and maybe I'll even put Dan on the spot and ask him how he found our club.
I found it by using Google or Yahoo. I can't remember which one I used at the time, but pretty much typed in local Toastmasters clubs, and it showed the you took the Toastmasters International, and it would show me the clubs within 10 miles of Clifton Park. So, of course, this was the one that was closest to my place, and also was well local. Was also a nice, good time in the evening for me.
So who do I make that check out to?
It would be very much an imaginary check.
Excellent, excellent. But it really highlights the point that that's how we get most of our guests. When we ask our guests, and we, I think, need to get better at asking our guests that, how did you find our club, so that we can do more of what works. Because as John said, we always have to continually promote the club. We have an attrition rate of probably 2 to 3 people per membership cycle. So we want to make sure that we're constantly getting new members, that we're keeping at a critical mass, and that we have dynamic meetings. We also want to proactively answer questions. So most of us like to sleep. We like to do things with our families. We have our own hobbies. And so the website is a 24/7 by 365 resource that people can go online anytime. So we want to make sure that we anticipate the questions that people would ask and that we make it accessible via the website. So we want to proactively answer questions to prospects, or in the case of people contacting us, being able to direct them to a resource that they can get to anytime they want. Growing membership through awareness. So if any of you have ever been to the new Toastmaster website, which is linked to in several places on this website, you'll see that in the right-hand corner there's a big button, which you probably saw, Dan, that says find a local club. It's brilliant. It really makes it easy. It's intuitive. Once you click that button, you put in your zip code, as you said, and it'll show you what clubs are in the area, and our club will get linked if anybody's in the Capital District is one of the choices, especially if they're looking for an open club, which means that you don't have to belong to a particular company. Also, we want to be able to use it internally to inform each other of different things, of events, contests, if you miss a meeting, to be able to go to the website and find out what happened and what did you miss. And then one thing that I've talked with Tricia about that I think we should seriously consider using is the online agenda capability. So if you're a Toastmaster going through the process of going into Word and jumbling with different names and switching roles, and all that can be a lot of formatting and a lot of work, if we have a template set up and we have a regular structure of the meetings, which is pretty regular, then it's a matter of being able to go and let people sign up. So even Tricia's workload can be reduced. She can focus on helping people through their learning paths and their development paths, as opposed to managing the sheet and then emailing that to the next Toastmaster and emailing it every couple of weeks saying this is what's coming. This can all be done on the website. So over the next week or so, we'll evaluate that. The next steps are, because this is like any project that has a beginning and an end, the next steps are for everybody in this club to, time permitting, to review the website. Provide me feedback in the next week. We do have a compelling event on the 17th, which is when the old website goes away. I think I've got all the information captured from the old website, so we won't lose any historical data. For some things like guests in the past or past membership, that's important for marketing. Provide me the feedback 2 weeks from today, on the 14th. I'll make those changes by the 15th, and then the 17th, I'll redirect the old website, so anybody that links to the old website will find our new website. And for extra credit, and I know at least one person went and updated her profile, because I saw your phone number in there, which I didn't have before, Carrie. So if everybody could go log into the website, the instructions are in the email. If you have a problem, give me a call. The other thing is, if you can put a picture up there and write something about yourself, I think that helps sell the club, because the club is its members. And when people meet you on the website, they walk into the door with a level of comfort. 2 quick notes as I end. One is that the officers will now have new email addresses. I will send this presentation using the new mail list functionality. There's no need for people to write these down. In fact, I'll send this to the entire club, the presentation. But the nice thing is, now when you're a Toastmaster, you have to remember all this list of names. So John, when you send out the announcement for the contest, there's a guest at this address. You can send that, and that'll go to the 9 guests that are on that mailing list, and they won't see each other's email. It'll be masked. So this will really streamline the process of being able to communicate with not only the club members, but the guests. So before you leave, Dan, let me get your email address if you're willing to be on our mailing list. And then the last thing is that, just as a status, we have all 20 members, which is a win, because in the past, I think we had 26 in the old one. Some were passed, the titles were outdated, there was all kinds of stuff going on. So the data's been cleaned up. We have 9 former members. I'll have a question out to support on whether or not there's a way that we can easily access those. Otherwise, we can email them, I can build a list. And then we have 9 former guests, maybe 10 guests, or maybe 21 members. Any questions, please feel free to contact me at the new email address, which I will send around this presentation. I think that you'll find that the website is much more stylish than the previous one. Thank you for your time.